Do you ever get the feeling when you watch a poker training video like you're not really sure how this is going to actually help you play and your eyes kind of zone out? If so, this video is for you. Sometimes when someone asks me for a recommendation, I go through some of the poker training offers on the top poker sites, and very quickly my eyes go dark and my mind strays because really it feels like the training industry today is very math focused and very solver focused. Poker is a multi-dimensional game. By focusing on the theory dimension, you often zoom in. So, what should my bluffs be on this river? Let's randomize this combo. Let's look at my blockers. You might miss the big picture, like this guy's eating an Oreo cookie, or this is his lunch money, there is no way he's hero calling, or whatever it may be. Real poker constantly throws you into situations that don't match theory. By focusing on theory, you end up not having the correct tools to deal with multi-way pots, weird sizes, unique textures, etc. And the way poker is built is if someone does something that's wrong, you don't automatically profit from it just by virtue of you making the right sizing or the right play and him making the wrong one. You have to have kind of deeper understanding of what's going on. So there's a balance between how much you study and how much you play, and a lot of the integration and the learning in poker happens at the tables. Now, by making the learning experience longer and heavier, it becomes inaccessible for people who have time and energy limitations. And by energy limitations, I mean, we enjoy playing more than we do studying, generally speaking, the people who come to poker. So the more you make them study in order to play, the more they end up with an energy problem and a motivation problem and an integration problem. So this is a fairly big one, but computer programs are very black and white. So this move is correct, this move is wrong. And reality in poker is much more fluid. And when you start looking at these charts, some hands are making you 0.01 big blinds, or they're losing you 0.03 big blinds in a 200 big blind pot. And at the level of accuracy in which we're able to play in the real world, these are actually identical to zero. So a lot of the focus of poker training is to get you to nail the 0.01% differences, rather than aim at much lower hanging fruit. Irrelevant math. Here what I mean is, for example, these are the way pot odds work, and these are the way implied odds work, and here's a toy game, and let's do some math examples. Rather than just saying, generally you can call with straight draws and flush draws twice, and gut shots mostly fall to the second bet, which is the way that most of the top players in the world conceptualize it. And, while there are some guys who just do the math in their head as they're playing, I can say from experience of working with top players is that a lot of them don't even know what math to do, but calling with an open-ender doesn't require you to do any math. So going into a more concrete example, one of the things that came from computers is that in a lot of situations, you simplify to betting your entire range for a small size on a flop. What this does is it takes you immediately into a certain part of the game tree. It's theoretically correct in a lot of situations, but the difference is this 0.01%. And by opening your mind and opening your game to other options, maybe if you check back the flop, your opponent's actually making a really big mistake on the turn, like he's being way too aggressive, or he's being way too passive, or he's being way too straightforward, and he's giving you a lot of information. And by starting the hand with a bet, you don't give yourself the opportunity to gain this information. So the way computers work and the way poker training approaches things is from a very theoretical standpoint of kind of everyone is playing perfect, and then what should we do? Whereas in practice, the question you often want to ask yourself is, well, nobody is playing perfect, and this is my opponent. So what should I do, and what are actually the reasonable options for me at this point? All of these issues with the poker training industry made me come up with a question, and I've worked with thousands of poker players, and a lot of them, this kind of training was not good for them. So what would be the correct way to offer training where I gave you as little as possible, as condensed as possible, as, overarching as possible in terms of principles. And I could send you with that kind of to battle and you'd be okay. What's the minimum that gives a maximum? So what I offer in this course is, first of all, first principles thinking. Whenever you look at what a computer is doing, really a few levels beneath that, at the basic level, you have each hand that you could have and what that hand wants to do. And you kind of add all of those together and you would say, well, if every hand that I had did exactly what it wanted to do, I'd be completely face up. So I need to throw some deception in there. I can't, every hand do exactly what it wants. How do I throw the deception in there? And then the answer is, well, it depends. What's your range and what's the other person's range? And the computer kind of prioritizes things so that they're organized in the most optimal manner possible against every counter strategy possible, and does all this really complicated things. But really what it's doing is it's taking this principle of every hand is trying to do something, and it's putting it together with a big principle of, what does my range look like and what does your range look like? And, if I have only one combo that wants to get stacks in and every other combo wants to play defensive, maybe that combo would better play defensive too. So what is the poker blueprint? The poker blueprint was born to address this issue, and I've coached many successful players among the best in the world. And what I'm making in this course is, first of all, something that's based around first principles thinking. So all of the hours and the time I spent studying and understanding solvers, I'm going to present it to you guys without the solvers and without the math. So kind of you can understand what's going on beneath the hood of the computer. No charts, no math, no 0.01%. Logic and intuition and focus on what matters. And what this does is it makes poker again. So it leaves yourself the room to use your imagination when you play and to use your intuition when you play. You have a lot of mental bandwidth. It's a very, very simple, very concise framework that lets you kind of, all the moves you're making are going to be more or less correct, and then you have the freedom to decide which move to use in the situation. For more information, and if you guys want to check out the poker blueprint, click on the link in the description below. If you purchase a course during the first week, you're going to get a bonus course, the tournament blueprint, which takes the same set of principles and shows you how to apply them in a wide variety of tournament situations. I highly recommend this course for everyone at any point in your poker journey, and even for different games in No Limit Hold'em. These kind of principles can really enhance your play and the way that you think about the game. And yeah, see you guys on the other side.